Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled Tia says she's a single mom but gets dragged for it. Let's get right into it.
So this might be a little bit of a hot take. I don't think that the term single mom is a one size fits all.
You don't understand, okay? Being a single parent means you have to make the money and do bath time. You have to do every single thing, and you don't have help, you don't have support, you do it all.
I can't do nothing without y'all saying something.
River TV.
What's up, guys? It's your girl River, and I'm back again with another video. Now, I know we talk about Tia again, but it's not my fault, y'all. Okay, it is not my fault. Tia has resurfaced all over the blogs as of yesterday because of a post that she decided to make on social media. And this time, instead of it being in regards to the divorce, it's still semi in regard to the divorce, but she was trying to understand why people are upset with her now because she's calling herself a single mom. If you guys are unaware, obviously, we've definitely talked about all things Tia on this platform in regards to, when she graduated from her divorce.
Marriage was a success. Yeah. I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. Yeah. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation.
To the TV show that she had where she, basically ended up saying that she regretted getting a divorce and she missed her husband.
Because it makes me feel like I've made a mistake.
A mistake of what?
Of getting a divorce. I don't want to be alone, So when I'm going through these challenges, sometimes you want to go back.
To the absolute most recently, in which she posted her DMs and basically was showing that there was men in there who were like shooting her shot. The first one she posted was to let everybody know that she's still outside.
Goes down in the DM.
It goes down in the DM.
Would you marry me if you knew?
So, my thoughts on Tia is she's pretty much crying for help. Because she's famous, she could get a lot of attention. She could say stupid stuff. And, I think that she assumes that she should be a lot more desirable than she really is. She's trying to figure out why don't people like her as much, or how come she just can't get another man as easily as she would assume so. And so that's kind of an issue there, right? But the other thing I think is very fascinating is that she's getting dragged for calling herself a single mom. Now, the reason why I find that interesting is because, yeah, she's trying to use a single mom label, but a lot of people don't label themselves single moms just because they're single and they're a mom. They label themselves single moms because they're a single parent, meaning that like they're parenting by themselves. They're not co-parenting, right? The father's not in the picture, so they got to be the father and they got to be the mother. And so women taking offense to it, I find that funny because it's like you want to own your grievances, right? You have to be part of a certain in order to be part of this like collective of mothers. You need to be without a man or a man's help at all. And so I guess they feel like she shouldn't be able to rep the brand single mom, which I find that fascinating. But it just goes to show you that a lot of this, what people do, is for this like victim Olympics, right? Who's more the victim? Now, I agree. Maybe Tia is not as much as a victim as a woman who has no father present in her life. But the distinction to me is not that important. Even though I understand that I guess you want single mom to be reserved only for women who are struggling, right? And so because Tia is like a successful woman and she's not struggling, maybe she can't call herself a single mom. Either way, like this whole branding yourself a single mom or this or that, I just find it silly. But we'll grant these women their argument, all right? So I'm going to skip a little bit of this video. Shout out to Riva. I think she did a great job covering this topic. I don't have the patience to find this stuff, so I'd rather just react to it. And we'll skip around a little bit and get more deeper into the conversation. Hey, listen up, Shape Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly, you just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
In this thing that's been going on her social media where, she calls herself a single mom, and a lot of women and men both alike have issues with her giving herself that title, especially because of the fact that she has such an active ex-husband and father who literally we always see with those kids. Okay, so a lot of people want clarification of the word single mom, the title single mom. And again, it all began with this as the forefront of the post, in which she says, "Why do I get backlash for calling myself a single mom?" Now, as I already stated, it's because women and men alike are like, you're not. Right? Like, you're not. Like, the term single mother is like a woman who has no other person that's supporting. I'm talking about extended family. Like, the other parent is not involved. They're not around. They're not supportive. They're not assisting. They don't, carry any of the burden. It is just you solely by yourself. That is, what a single mom is known as. Right? And so, like I said before, she's going through this whole thread that we're going to go through, all the posts that she put up there, basically trying to explain her situation while also explaining what it means to be a single mom. As we can see here in the next one, it says, "Sometimes I wonder why saying I'm a single mom sparks so much backlash. Family can look different than what we imagined and still be full of love, stability, and joy. This is my truth and I want to share it. Being a single mom doesn't always mean a mom doing it all alone without the father present in their kids' lives at all. I recognize that archetype is extremely difficult and I truly empathize. But what often gets overlooked is the nuance of what being a single mom can actually mean. For me, in my household, I am single. I don't have a partner, so I'm holding it down for everyone at home. I'm the only parent present day to day." Now, she tried to talk about, she empathizes with the women who are actually going through that. And, being a single mom is not just one, it's not a one size fits all. There's different variations. But I'm not going to lie. The definition from the beginning of the message is exactly what a single mom is. Okay? Just like I said in the beginning of this conversation. A single mom is definitely a mother who does not have support. Okay, now I don't know what she is a single woman for sure. She is a mother who is also a single woman in the dating market. But when you have somebody that you can ding, ding, ding on the phone and call them and say, "Hey, come get these kids." When you have a present father, so much so that you are dropping them off to his house and it was hard for you to drop them off or adjust to that situation, but you literally had a dad to drop them kids off to.
I feel like one of the hardest things that I've had.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, so we have a couple problems here. Like, one, women are trying to argue what single mom means. Based on their definition, I guess if a woman is living, because I know some single moms, they live with their own mom. So, that's like 3 generations in one house. And so, I guess they don't experience single motherhood the same way because they always have someone to babysit their kids. They're kind of like the 4th child themselves because they're allowed to still go out, have a life and not have to worry about their kids because their mother or their grandparents is also taking care of their kids. That's one thing. The other thing, too, is just such like, to me, the issue is people don't accept Tia trying to victimize herself because they realize, like, you made a mistake. You left your husband. You didn't have to leave your husband. Like, some single mothers might feel like, I've been abused. I was with a dirtbag. I chose poorly. You had a good man and you actually were the poor choice. The fact that he chose to have kids with you, start a family with you, was more the issue. And I just personally feel like when we look at this scenario of Tia, I just think that so many people just feel like they can't relate to her. And I don't think she wants you to relate to her at all. I think she wants to show to you that she's superior in some way because she's famous, she got clout, thousands of people in her DMs, from actors and NBA stars and musicians. She wants to seem like she's so desirable, but I actually find her to be very regular because who else other than a modern woman, a modern Western woman from America, could fumble such a good life in pursuit of a whole life? Like, she wanted to live the 304 life because she's been with someone for so long, and clearly that was an issue. The fact that she was with Corey and it was just like a pleasant relationship, she felt like she graduated from the pleasant, happy, non-chaotic relationship, and she wanted something else. She wanted another challenge. And so her new challenge is being a single mom by choice, right? This is the stupidity that some women go down just so they can feel like they have agency over their lives. I get it. You might feel like, you know what, I'm bored. But you should not sabotage your happiness, your family for boredom. It just doesn't make any sense. This idea that you should live a rock star lifestyle because you're famous is stupid. And this is why I think Tamara doesn't really rock with what she's doing. Tamara lives a very boring life. She has a little white husband. They do little, Caucasian black girl shit together. You know what I'm saying? They do very white shit together, which is absolutely fine. And she lives a normal life. She's not out here trying to show that every man wants her. And her man is regular as hell. So she don't even try to make it seem like every woman wants her man. She just wants to live a regular life. And I respect her for that. And I think, Tia just happens to be the rotten sister and no one likes her anymore. So I would love to see Tia in more acting roles. I want to see what's going to happen to her career because she's clearly branding herself like this, black sheep of the family. And it's actually fascinating to watch. So I'm interested in what else is going to happen.
Had to adapt to is dropping my kids off at their dad's house.
You are not a part of the same conversation of the women who can't call nobody. Okay? And for whatever reason, right? There's some women who are not calling the other person purposely because they're not getting what they want out of the bargain. You have other women who are, don't have that person to call, don't know where he at. He not there taking care of his responsibilities. He don't want nothing to do with them kids. So there are absolutely, different variations within being a single mom. But I think that, she's having a hard time understanding the backlash, again, because, she said that before that she was like a functioning people pleaser. I don't know if there's still remnants of that where she's still literally trying to please everybody. And so any backlash that she's getting, she feels that she has to, put her point of view out there so people can understand, where she's coming from. But the shock of it all, I think, is because it's a lot of negativity coming from women under her post who are single moms and who are like, girl, I'm with you, I support you. But at the same time, like, please don't get on here and act like you have the same struggle as we do, because you don't.
So this might be a little bit of a hot take. I don't think that the term single mom is a one-size-fits-all. As somebody who was divorced and has been for 5 years, and somebody who shares their children 50-50 with their father, I do not think the term single mom applies to me. When people call me a single mom, oh, well, Nicole, you're a single mom. I'm like, well, no, I'm not. I think there's a difference between being a solo parent and being a single mom. There are true single moms out there, and I don't feel like I'm one of them. My kids are with their dad 50% of the time. And when they're with me, their dad provides financial support for my kids based on our incomes. We share responsibility for our kids. We share finances for our kids, costs like sports and things like that. We both clothe them. We both, my kids have two parents that contribute to their lives equally. So yes, on my parenting time, I am a solo parent. But as far as raising my kids, I'm not a single mom. I think the term single mom is really easy to apply as a one-size-fits-all to a lot of different situations, but I don't think that it always applies.
Now, when she said at the bottom, for me, in my household, I am single. I don't have a partner, so I'm holding it down for everyone at home. I'm the only parent present day to day. Again, my issue with this situation is that if all the things that Tia posts on social media, okay, but this one as well, you would strongly believe that Corey left her. Like, you would believe that this man cheated on her, did the worst things, left her high and dry, left her with them kids, doesn't have a part to play. Like, you would strongly believe that by the fact that she is, oh, I'm a single mother, I'm a divorced woman, you just have to be out here and be free. It's a graduation. Like, the way that she articulates everything that transpired, you would strongly believe that she was forced into this situation and it was not her doing.
I do have a feeling and a sense of freedom following my divorce.
Yeah, I think, she's playing the victim. And I don't know where I'm trying to figure out why this is so surprising, why she's getting so much backlash. Because like most women, she's going to play the victim. She's not going to take accountability, right? It's not her fault, even though it is her fault, right? But she wants to make it seem like she's innocent in all this. That's why I was kind of confused when she said she graduated from marriage. Like, what do you mean you graduated from marriage? Like, graduating from marriage sounds like you died, right? Like, you're supposed to be married till your death, right? So you graduate from marriage. Like, there is no level above that. Like, the highest level for a woman is a wife. That's the highest title for a woman. So the fact that you graduate from the title of wife to single mom, and you want to, now people are fighting with you saying that you're not really a single mom, you're not even a solo parent, or like you're just a single woman who has kids and she co-parents and their kids are with the dad 50% of the time, or whatever the arrangement is. You know, I just think that Tia's lost. Tia is lost, bro. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. And she could afford to do this because she has money. See, a lot of people have money and they have wealth, and it really inflates their ego. They think that they are the most desirable. They think they're the smartest person they know. No one can tell them anything because a lot of people are poor and they got more money than them. And then you combine that with fame, you just have this level of arrogance that it's like unmatched, right? And like most people around people like Tia, they're not famous. And so they worship, and in America, it's like one of the worst. People worship celebrities. Like, even though I know from my own personal life, you know, I got a social media following, right? Shout out to my subscribers. I just surpassed 14,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I don't even think 14,000 is not that many, and it's not, you know, but I had someone that looked at my channel the other day and they're like, damn, man, you're getting a lot of views, you know, and you get a lot of attention. And like, everybody is fighting for attention. So when they look at Tia and Tia has all this attention, they look to themselves and think, oh my God, she's so cool. It would be so cool to be you. And so that makes Tia think like she's invincible. Maybe she could leave her husband and get a much better husband because, you know, everyone wants to be her. But what she doesn't understand is that men who are on her level or above, right, they can date anybody. They don't have to date a single mom. Like, women, you have to understand this. Whether you have a lot of fame, a lot of money, the man you want don't have to just date you because you're at their level socioeconomically. They don't. They can date someone that's younger, more cooperative, and don't have any status. Because, man, we don't value that. And I think this is one of the largest problems with Tia, is that Tia does not understand men. So she goes online and she makes all these choices in her life as if she's becoming, like she's getting more opportunities, but she has less. I know it might not seem like it should be right that it's this way and it's probably a double standard, but women who are famous with children who just got out of a marriage with someone else that, you know, even if things went wrong, they're not desirable. Like, even if she was actually the victim, you're not more desirable than a woman who was the victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, or wasn't the victim. Like, you're not more desirable just because, or you're not more desirable just because you have fame and status. Like, that's the biggest thing. If anyone can take away anything for this video, as a woman, you have to understand that your money doesn't make you. Your status doesn't make you, right? The things that might improve your life won't necessarily improve your dating as a woman. And I know it's a double standard, and no, it's not fair, whatever. But too many women are sacrificing their families for an opportunity to date somebody on the streets, and the streets don't give a damn about you. And that's what's so laughable about all this, is that she literally jumped out the frying pan into the fire. And so, like, you know, I wish someone could just tell her, but clearly she has a bunch of yes men around her, so probably no one's going to tell her. No one can tell her because they would dream to be famous, and they would hope that if they were famous, it would give them unlimited options. But for women, that's just generally not the case.
You personally, you know, you're talking about, this is my responsibility in my home, and I have to, you know, manage these things day by day. Give him full custody. Are you going to do that? Probably not. Right? So again, this is an optional situation for you, where you have other women who are like, I'm the only one in my household, I'm the present parent day by day, and they don't have the option to send them kids nowhere. Hence why she's getting the backlash. Because in a lot of these women's minds, there's men in the comments too, but in a lot of these women's minds who are in that position, they're like, you just want to struggle so bad. Like, you want to relate and struggle so bad that you are creating this narrative, but you really truly don't understand what it really feels like.
I think I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, and I literally don't care because I've been seeing so many of these videos online and they're irking my soul. But when people talk about solo parenting in the context of like, oh, solo parenting, I understand what it's like to be a single parent. No, you don't. No, you don't. Dealing with like your children and the home and all of those like responsibilities, dealing with that and having to do like bath time routine and all that kind of stuff like by yourself because like your partner is out at work does not equate single parenthood. You don't understand, okay? Being a single parent, means you have to make the money and do bath time. You have to do every single thing, and you don't have help, you don't have support, you do it all. So I really, it's like insensitive when people compare the two. Solo parenting can be hard, okay? But it is not compared to being a single parent. It's just the two are not equal.
She made this next post and it says, I remember those first nights after my world shifted. I cried, I felt guilt, I felt shame. I asked myself, are we still a family? Looking back now, I know we always were. It's not even about being a single mom. It's about recognizing we need to normalize different family dynamics. Just because parents aren't together doesn't mean the family is broken. It just looks differently. Again, you crying all the time, or you saying that you was crying, you felt shame, you felt guilt. Guilt, I understand, because again, this was Tia's decision. And I'm not going to say that you're not going to have any kind of, emotion or feelings based off of the two of you breaking up, even if it was your position. But you are the one that changed the family dynamic.
Basically, I am divorced.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a new chapter.
Congratulations. And that's why women get divorced at the rate that they do, because they get rewarded for it. Who else is going to get rewarded for bad behavior other than a single mom? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just, it's like, River gave this analogy, and she gave, I guess, kind of a thought-provoking idea where it's just like, give full custody of the kids to Corey. And I don't think that would really change her life in any meaningful way. Like, nothing about this scenario that she could have, there's no string she could pull or no lever she could move that can make her more desirable. None. There's like nothing you could do. And I think all this is about sexual desirability. Now, someone in my comments said in a recent video, they said, women date like they're shopping for shoes or purses. And they said, what matters is what other women think. And the reason why I think that's funny is because it's not that it matters what other women think about those shoes and purses, is that women want the shoes and purses that other women desire. That's how women are. Women want what other women have. It's just the way it is. It's keeping up with the Joneses. People want red bottoms, not because they know so much about shoes, it's because someone else has red bottoms and it's an it thing, so I want to be like the it thing. Right? Girls want to go see movies that other women see. They want to go travel places that other women have been. They want to do a bunch of things just because someone else did it. They're not into it. They don't research it. They don't study it. It doesn't even matter. Like, so long as a woman does it or wants it or has it, she's going to want it too. And so Tia, I think she made the false analogy that, or she equated that if she shows that men desire her by what's in her DM or whatever, and if she shows that she's desirable and she's also single, that she's gonna get opportunities to date a lot of desirable men because men are gonna want what other men want, and that's not how men work. I'm not gonna want a girl just because other men want her. That's not how men work. I could desire a girl that nobody wants. It doesn't matter to me. If I'm attracted to her and she's the kind of woman I want and she treats me great, I don't care if nobody wants her. That actually make it easier for me because that means I have no competition, Last thing I want to address this whole, that one clip that this girl we were just watching, she was just in, this girl right here, who, I don't know if she's like Filipino or whatever she is, but she's saying how solo parenting is different than single parenting. She said solo parents like the parent when, the dad's at work. Single parents, like you're the one that has to work and be the mom at home and give people the showers and bed, and you got to also make the money. And I find that fascinating because, women also talk about how like you could be a married single mom, right? And they're the way they compare that, they say like, oh, if you don't have any help around the house, even though you're a married woman and you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a married single mom because you have to do all the work, but you don't have to bring in the money. So you're doing all the work, but you don't have to pay all the bills. You still feel like a single mom. That doesn't make any sense. So clearly a lot of women, they don't have a consensus on this. They don't agree with all this kind of stuff. And it makes sense to me that they don't, because none of it actually makes any sense. I can't see how you're a married single mom, but you don't work just because you feel like you need extra help around the house. It's unbelievable, right? But this is the times that we live in now, that there's so much confusion because people are trying to create all these different subgroups of women based on the lifestyles that they may have choose and try to determine which one's more righteous, which which one's more, there's more suffering in, you know, which one's undesirable, which one's desirable, this, that, and other. I think what we really should be talking about is, should any of these things exist? We've been optimizing for something that should not exist. And that is this idea that women should be ungrateful because their life is not perfect. That's what we're optimizing for. You know, the woman who said that she's a married single mom because she don't have any help at home, she's optimizing for a life where she does barely nothing and she has help with everything that she does. Right? The girl who's trying to say that, you know, she's a single mom, she has to pay for all the bills, do all the work, she's optimizing for the fact that she needs to be the one that takes care of everything. She needs to be the one that, you know, contributes, and she don't need any help. She don't need a man. When honestly, she should have never brought a child in this world under those pretenses anyway. So, you know, I don't think that Tia getting backlash from other single moms is going to really hurt her, but it just definitely shows that there's a growing resentment towards her. And, you know, I think it's well deserved. I think she should have stuck with the wives, stuck with the successful black women, the 25% of black women who actually had a man in their life that was desirable. And, you know, she could have became a stay-at-home mom. She could have really lived a great life. But no, she was so jealous of all these 304s, getting Birkin bags, getting flew out. She wanted to live like that. And now that she has the opportunity to live like that and nobody actually wants her, she was in for a rude awakening. So that's just my thoughts. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. I'm in Africa right now, but I will be back shortly. I can't wait to get back into my studio. I can't wait to get back to my own bed. But I've been enjoying myself out here. I'll definitely be back in Africa sort of time. You know, I mean, in no time. It's been an incredible experience. But until next time, check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you guys over there.